So I've been looking for something to wear to Beyonce. You know what? You know what happened like the last time? Like I bought something, whatever we went to our little Zara trip.
Right.
Never gonna wear again. Never doing that. And I just don't have the money right now to like spend on something I'm never gonna wear again. So I went on Amazon. I was like, and what do I want to wear that I'm comfortable in that I'm not?
Right.
Did I wear flip flops last time? Do you remember what shoes I wore last time?
They were flip-flops because I don't think they were flip-flops. We have that picture.
I know. I have to go back
and it's full length.
No, my skirt was, but let me just see if I can find it.
But I don't feel like they were flip-flops.
I think I might have worn flip flops or Birkenstocks.
I think they were Birkenstocks.
Anyway, we'll go back and look at it. We don't need to bore our audience, our huge audience, with this.
I know our huge. I did go to a secondhand store, and I got a used, like old Stetson hat,
Which is very cute. I'm sure.
I actually love it.
I'm wearing Birkenstocks.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna wear my like a casual t-shirt, and then I did get from the Real. I got some of those boots that I've been wanting for years. The oh my god, now I'm blanking on the name. Oh my god, I can't think of it. I'll think of it.
Okay.
Those they look like construction boots. What are they called?
Oh, like Timberlands, not blood souls.
Yeah, I've got a pair of Timberlands.
Well, you know, I'm like
serious, and I'm like, yeah, I am, and I'll wear them.
Well, I don't know what shoes I'm going to wear, but I bought a denim dress, like full length denim dress on Amazon for like $35. Like I'm not spending a lot of money on it, but I was looking up like what to wear to. Did she?
She bought a denim dress on Amazon or something, or Levi or something. It was like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. So Susan and I are going to be wearing. That's okay. Matching denim is very country.
Well, I don't think hers is long.
Okay. No, because she has much better legs than me. So.
Yeah. No. But there's going to be a lot of denim. So that night.
Okay.
So it's not like you and Susan are going to be like, oh my god, they're wearing the same thing.
Okay. All right. I have notes on the finale. I quite frankly cannot remember what happened.
Okay.
So
there's key things that I remember.
Okay. Wait. I want to ask you a question first. Okay. So The Bachelor calls, which I think is hilarious, whenever they do these rose things, the dome of the undateables. So all the people that are in the room. Which is hilarious, it's not. Anyway, in this dome of the undateables, Jared Freed, give him props for that one. What are your thoughts on seeing all the Bachelor alumni? Like they pan to them and then everyone claps, and I just kind of feel like, I don't know, I've been there, done that. I don't need to see these people again. I don't even remember who some of these people are.
Sorry, hold on. Okay. It's not surprising you don't remember who they are.
Correct. Okay. All right.
Let's just establish that.
There's no need to get bitchy.
Okay. It's not bitchy. It's just a fact. So
it's a little bitchy.
That.
Okay.
It doesn't. I don't know. I guess. Do they get paid for it? I wonder. Do you think they get paid for it?
No, I do not think they get
their contract. Probably right. They're
maybe.
On the show, and they're probably at certain times a little bit at their beck and call and have to do a certain amount of it. I would imagine. I don't know. There are certain people you're like, why are they there? And other people, are they going to say they're on the Bachelor in Paradise or like what's going on? But I think that game is very funny. But I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. I don't have
all right.
Strong feelings.
Okay, so we are at the live Bachelor finale. Obviously, what started a couple of years ago are putting the audience reactions in the corner. Right. It infuriates me. It is very annoying. I don't need to I'm distracted from what's actually going on to the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I have to turn off the dryer. You give me your thoughts. I have my headphones in. Okay. I can hear you.
Well, again, I don't know if I have a strong reaction to it. It's the cannolis and the corner shot this season, and the lone wolf tattoo. I think that yeah, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I guess it's a little bit weird. Um, I guess it hasn't really fazed me that much.
Okay. Yeah, of course it phases me. I don't like I don't like tags in the back of my clothes. I wear my socks inside out. So yes, that absolutely phases me.
Oh, I'm really horrible with, I hate on TV when I'm at home, I hate the closed captioning on. It's like, I understand if I go to movie theater and people need it. Absolutely. But when my husband has it on at home, like we would use it for slow horses sometimes because we're like, what? And you can't understand what the hell sometimes with the accent someone's saying. But otherwise, it distracts me. I hate having it on the TV, and my husband and child always laugh at me. But yes. So
I don't watch anything without closed captions anymore. Everything is subtitled. I can't, when it's not, I can't stand it. I'm like, what are they? I don't even, maybe I should get my hearing checked out.
Too?
Everything.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh my God, Flow, the animated film that doesn't have any dialogue, whatever. We watched with subtitles last night.
What were the subtitles?
It was like melancholy, uplifting. And so then I was like, oh, I know where this is going. And so it just gave me a sense.
You didn't know without that?
Well, no, I don't think I did sometimes. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I didn't get it. People are telling me how great it was. And I was like, yes.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah. It was kind of like had it set, like I definitely was on the edge of my seat sometimes where I was like, get up, cat, move.
Never on the edge of my seat. No.
I did think the capybara falling asleep constantly and just like just falling over like a lump of clay. You know, thing that looks,
yes,
very, very funny.
Yes, that was cute. But someone's like, oh, I cried all throughout. I'm like, yeah.
No, I didn't cry.
It didn't move me. No. Mm-mm.
No, I didn't know what was going on. I needed the closed caption.
Melancholy. Well, someone's like maybe drowning in the water.
Yeah.
What's happening? Okay, so that's difficult for us because I hate it on, but okay. All right. So for me that takes away. And you know my husband, he can't stand Jesse Palmer.
But Jesse Palmer's so innocuous. There's nothing not to like about him. He's perfectly lovely.
Oh, my husband can't stand him. But so I don't think he brings a lot to it, but I don't think the host needs to. I mean, we always die laughing when there's like the final rose. Well, no shit. There's, 3 people there. And
no, they got to take that out. They got to change that. I think we talked about this last time. There was a holdover from Chris Harrison. Yeah. By the way, he didn't do that much in the end either. No. He was off playing. No. They would go to these locations and he would just be playing golf all day, I think.
Well, also he was on it less and less because he wrote some book and had a wine.
Yes,
and he was on there less and less. So when people were in an uproar about him, being booted and I won't watch it, I'm like, he was barely on there anymore.
Yeah,
like, he was on there less and less every season. So no. So I will say, like from the very beginning. With the dates, the body language was huge.
Between these 2 dates?
Between like his Grant's reaction when he saw Latia and when he saw Juliana were completely different.
Oh, tell me about this. I don't think I noticed this.
Latia, when he gave her a hug, he bent really far over. There was practically no body contact.
Well, Mormon.
Yeah, but
no, it was a joke. You're supposed to laugh.
Okay,
God.
Okay, say it again. There's no body contact.
Mormon.
Oh my God. Yes, you're right.
Okay. God, bitch, eat today.
But, and then he, yes, he was wringing his hands. Like he is like so much anxiety when he was with her. And this whole, I mean, obviously we're recording this so late. Everyone knows who he picked. I don't think he was so torn about who to pick. I think he was really torn about knowing he was going to hurt Latia.
I totally agree. But I also think that I completely agree with that he might think that he should choose Latia.
Yes, because on paper,
she's everything that he wanted, and it did sound like,
She had all
I
the
mean,
right,
I don't know.
said all the right things.
She's,
She had
yes.
all the right answers. It was, I will say I really started off liking her, and then as it went on, that baby talk was fucking killing me.
I didn't really notice it until this episode, until last time when you mentioned it, and then I really noticed it this episode. Yeah.
It was killing me. That one woman who I sent you that reel, there's this woman on Instagram, I can't remember her handle name, and she does a brilliant impersonation of Latia before and after the rose.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I just love Grant, and and again, for me, she was so motherly to him,
Yeah.
and it felt very like her parents. It didn't feel fun. It didn't feel exciting. It was, and just even when they greeted each other, she definitely seemed all in. Obviously, from the end of it, you understand why. We can get to that later of what your thoughts are about, everything that he said to her on camera, off camera. And then when he saw Juliana, he lit up.
Yeah.
He seemed so much more excited to see her. And I was like, there's no way he's going to pick Latia, is he? There was no way. I mean, he just lit up in a whole different way. And then with the dates, he seemed so much more excited when she was with his family than when with Latia.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. What did you think about Latia meeting Grant's family? Like, Grant's family really, really liked her after they saw her. And I think they thought, oh, this is the one. And maybe that's always the way it is in the beginning. Like, you meet this first person and they seem to be so wonderful. Grant does say this is the first time his family's been together in a decade. All four of them in the same room. Like, that, God, I would be really, really nervous about that. But it seemed to go okay. Dad seemed okay. I did notice on this date did you notice Latia never blinks?
Yes.
It felt a little. That's when the Get Out stuff kind of came on.
Yes, and it's just, she had a great answer for. I did like her answer to his mom about why she loved him, because so often people talk about, like, why do you love him? Well, they make me feel special, heard, seen. And it's like, yeah, but what about them? That's about you.
Right. No, completely. Yeah.
What do you love about them? Not how they make you feel. That's about you. So I did like her answer, and she definitely, again, I'm sure, like, a lovely woman, very mature, leading up the final, we'll get there, but it was hilarious to me.
No, absolutely hilarious.
But but a little measured, and again, a little Stepfordy.
Extremely controlled, and measured is the perfect word. When Latia was talking to Grant's dad, I thought the dad had a really interesting thing to say. And that's that, Latia says, really, I mean, I think she says my timeline again is 2 years for kids. And I think, Grant's crazy if he thinks she was going to wait 2 years. Yeah. She was like 2 weeks. She was like ready to it almost felt like an arranged marriage kind of thing with them. Like, you would put two people together who seem to have the same values, morals, whatever. But the dad gave it really good advice. He said, life isn't scripted, right? You can't have a scripted life. It doesn't always work out exactly the way you think it's going to go. And I don't remember if he said that to Latia or Grant, but I thought for those two, that made a lot of sense, because Latia had a plan. She was going to get married. 2 years they were going to have 2 years, and then they were going to have babies, and then how many ever kids they were going to have, she very much had this scripted timeline.
Yep. And like he said, I think both of them, like, on paper, that it was all laid out.
Yes.
On paper, right? The timeline, everything. And, I don't blame Grant for wanting to not have children right away. I think that's really smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for a lot of people they should have that time to get to know each other. They should have that time to date and really get to know each other, the ins and outs, and feel really even like super solid. And then they should have that married time and just the two of them for a while. And then you bring in the kids. I mean, obviously I didn't do it like that, but I think if you can't, I know, but I think if you can, then I think it's a good, like, it's not scripted, and that's not what I did and worked for me. But if you can, I would advise it.
Of course, this is me. Oh, somebody from Algeria is calling me. Should I answer that?
Yeah, let's answer it.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I wonder what they'd say.
Right.
We should answer that on this call. Well, Latia also says that she has never said "I love you" to anyone. I mean, would you be concerned about that if you were Grant? Because she was so in and so sure, but she had known him for such a short period of time. There is a part of me that thought that maybe she might want to compare that feeling with something that she's had in the past, just to assume that it wasn't not just physical infatuation, but an infatuation of a husband and a life and putting your roots down. I don't know. I thought that would have been a little alarming to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know me, like, anybody moves too fast with me when I was dating, I was like, ugh, no, thank you. But the show kind of changes that. I get that. But I think did you say this? I think they moved too quickly from the very beginning, right? They were too... I
said I think I think they peaked too early.
Yeah, they peaked too early. And I've done that with somebody where it just went too fast, too quick, both of us. And it went, boop, and it kind of pushes it, and it doesn't let it grow at a natural, healthy rate. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could list off 10 men right now.
Slut.
Hey.
And then I did not know that it was her first time that she's told anyone that she's loved them. It's the first.
No, that's
that
yes.
How old is she?
31.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't. Did I? At 31? Oh, yeah. I guess I did. I was 28, I guess. What were you, like 15?
Yeah. I was 15.
Were you?
Kevin Fisher. Sure.
Of course you were. Well, I actually had told my boyfriend after we broke up.
That's it. That's good, because that kind of snares him back in, or it makes them be like, ooh, made the right decision on that.
Well, we would say, I adore you to each other all the time.
That's
and then
cute.
When we broke up, I said, you never even told me that you loved me. And he said, well, I thought that's what we were saying. I thought when I told you I adored you, that's what I was saying to you. And I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
He goes, yes. And he goes, that's what I meant. I love you. When I said, whatever. And it was like, well, thanks for telling me that now. And it felt like it in a lot of ways, but it's different. So, yeah, so I was 28, I guess. Yeah. 28, 29. Yeah.
It's good to love one other person, I think, before you get married. I just think it's maybe good. Maybe that doesn't work for everyone, but this went so fast, and there is such a sense of competition and infatuation, and the way that, you don't even, like, I realize the women and the men, when they're there, they don't even have a book to read in their spare time. They just sit around all day. I would go crazy. I could not do that. I don't know what I would do with myself, but I could not. In case they want to ask me to be on the show, I'm not available.
We need something. God, we have to think of that show. Okay, so what did you think about Juliana's time with his family?
I thought because it seemed more fun and less serious, that she wasn't going to get picked, I really thought, because Grant, all he talked about, it's like marriage, kids, all season. I want to be a dad, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, well, Juliana, they just went and they had this nice, it seemed like they had a nice time without all the pressure.
Yeah.
And actually, Juliana says that they haven't said I love you to each other, but I thought they had said something close to that. So I wasn't sure
Close to it, but they hadn't actually said I love you
right
until after that family time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant had the same shirt on. Did you notice? And his whole family had the same clothes on.
Okay.
They must have done this in the same day.
Well, not only that, but I feel like he wore that shirt on a previous
On a date.
And I was like, because I know that this was shot in 6 weeks opposed to like usually 6 to 9. So I was wondering if they even combined like another date, like what was the date before? I forget. The date, the overnights. I was like, did they combine the fantasy suites with the family time? Like, I don't know. But anyways, or am I just remembering that shirt because it was, definitely stands out, that shirt. Am I remembering that shirt from like the trailer, like what was up and coming? I don't know, but I was like, oh, that shirt again.
Yeah.
Or maybe he liked it so much. I don't know. And then did you see, I felt like he starts talking about the tattoo with Juliana and his family. And Eve is kind of blinking, like, and I was like, oh, is she tired of hearing about this lone wolf tattoo like the rest of us?
Well, is mom Eve? Is that who the mom is?
That's his
that
sister.
her name? Oh, his sister's Taylor.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it was, maybe I meant to write Taylor. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, I'm sick of it. It's one of the things that I wrote down. The mom says, they talk about this lone wolf, the lone wolf tattoo rides again. And the mom says he's been walking a long journey by himself. And I'm like, what does that mean? His family's here. He clearly has his family support. Maybe not without his dad for a period of time. But my dad died when I was really young. I didn't have, it didn't mean I walked the earth alone. He has friends. Like, the lone wolf thing pisses me off because it also puts him in a category where he thinks that he's like different from everybody else. I mean, ultimately we are all alone. When you go to bed at night, and you're even if you're in like a point of despair, someone could be there to comfort you, but you're the only one that feels that. The flip side of that is, at this point in his life, I just think that it seemed like he had enough friends and family around him that he wasn't walking a journey alone, like the Buddha in some sort of quest. It just drove me fucking nuts. It's stop it already. I agree with whatever Taylor was thinking. I did think. I wrote down that Taylor was looking over at them. She's very quiet, and she was critiquing them with her eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was measuring up.
Yes.
Yeah. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I keep thinking they're going to make her the next Bachelorette.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I did like that also his dad said, life is not always chipper and happy.
Dad's had a lot of therapy. Dad had a lot of good advice.
He said, Dad, he feels safe with you. You need to talk to your partner. Oh, so he said that to, God, because it's been so long since we watched it. Grant, his dad said that to Juliana. I thought he was lovely with her.
Yeah, he was.
I thought she was. The thing about like Juliana, it didn't feel measured. I felt like it was very like, well, I'm nervous to tell him that he loves me because there's somebody else here. I felt like she wasn't like saying what she thought she should be saying.
Yes.
Yes. A little bit more, I don't know, grounded, authentic. And I know there's all this shit that Grant, is saying to Latia as well, but she's come, a lot of the shit she's saying is coming from that place. But I don't know. It just seemed so much more at ease with each other. That I would have been really shocked if he didn't pick Juliana.
Yeah, I felt like that he was going to after this. He actually says, I love you to her first, and then says no pressure to her. Yeah. And this leads in, by telling her he loves her, this prompts her, of course, to be very vulnerable. And she gives a sweet, I love you back. And yeah, it was at this point where he seemed happier with Juliana. I do feel like, in a way, and we can, I don't know. Well, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. We kind of cut back into the studio at this point, and Jesse says, I feel like we've seen this movie before. We have other leads that were in this situation where you told two people that you love them, so they get Charity, Clayton, and good old Gary back up on that stage. Which I didn't think was great because Charity is the only one with Dot, and Clayton and Gary are single. Yeah. I don't want to take advice from either one of them.
No, I know. Sorry, I thought I had this off. No, I mean, Clayton, he told 3 women that he loved them, and was, Charity, she told Joey, and then Jerry, Gary.
Gary, that's spelled Jerry.
He got married and divorced like really quickly. So
within like 3 months, might have even been shorter than that.
It's like, well, at least you tried. It's like, oh God. I mean, you didn't talk about the moving thing before you got, not only during the show, but during the engagement before the wedding. You did not settle that, like, where you're both gonna live. And did they think like living apart would have worked? And that's what they decided on, and they realized 3 months in it didn't. And it's like, when people get married like that, it's like what? Like, you didn't even try. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. So like, unless you have to get it annulled because something really fucked up happened, right? Like, you found out he had been cheating on you the whole time, or I don't know, it's like something. But it's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Same. I feel like that, Latia said that they had decided to live somewhere neutral. And I just assumed that meant they were going to live on LA and become influencers. And we obviously know that Juliana and Grant end up deciding they're going to be in Boston. So I think when you're younger, it's easier to make those decisions. When you're at family and kids and grandkids and settle down, it's really hard. I did appreciate what Joan said at this moment when she did not say, I know, but whatever. She didn't say, talk about measured. She did not say, I love you to either person. And one of the things that she said is that it's really hard to go backwards. So you have to be really careful with your words. And I honestly think that's what I would do. I would not say, I know that The Bachelor's calling me any day now to be on the next one. But I would not. I just want them to know that I would not say I love you to 2 people. I would. Okay. I also would not go to the rose ceremony with 2 people. That would make me really unhappy. I would go to the hotel room, let the other person go, and then show up to the rose ceremony because I don't want the stress of that. Breaking it off with somebody and then immediately getting engaged, like, that is bananas to me.
That's happened.
No, it's happened many times.
Yeah,
and I think Grant should have done that with Latia because I don't know. Well, I guess we have dates to talk about. I just wouldn't want to ruin my own engagement by having to dump someone 30 minutes before I got proposed to.
Yeah. I don't know if it ruined it for him just because of her reaction. I think he probably thought, oh, thank God.
Yeah, no, I know. Right? I know. Well, they both go, because I want to get to that part quickly. Do you have anything to say about their individual dates?
Let's see. They go, are you ready for an engagement? Again, he's just making sure that she's ready to be engaged, right? She's like, I don't know if I could be ready, but then she is. She feels like she's prepared. They're calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's beaming when he's with her. Latia, final date. Again, he's wringing his fucking hands. And she's doing that baby talk shit.
Lady Macbeth. Yeah.
Time. Oh my God. Like, he just seems like, he says he has a heavy heart. And I'm like, I just think because he's so nervous. I think he got caught up and he didn't know how to reel it back in.
Yes, exactly.
I think a little bit of him is torn because on paper, but I think mostly he's like, fuck.
Yes, I know. That date with Latia, I found a little difficult because, number one, she feels like she has it in the bag. And she's not nervous. She's really confident. Oh God, this horseback riding. I hate horseback riding, but horseback riding in the rain
really?
in a skirt through a muddy swamp, like the absolute worst. He and Latia, they've talked. So one of the things I did find interesting is he and Latia have talked about faith a lot. He's talked about, and he keeps talking to Latia about how important it is to him. He hasn't mentioned it to Juliana at all. As far as we have seen, there's been no mention to her. So he also says, hey, I think this thing with kids, like, is your family pressuring you to do this? Doesn't he ask her something like that? And she says, no, my desire to be a mother comes from my heart. My family wants it for me, but I don't feel any pressure. And then she goes, but if you're not ready in 2 years, I'll wait. I want to this is what she says verbatim. I want to make you happy and I want you to feel ready. And I want both of us to feel excited and ready at that time. But that is like, so then she says her timeline and then she immediately backs off on this and goes, but whatever you want. And no, I don't think based on what we saw at the finale, that is her personality at all. I think she would be like, you told me 2 years and it has been exactly whatever 365 times 2 is. And this is, I'm ovulating now. Put that cock in me. Let's get some sperm to the ovaries.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
There's no way she would have. No, she would not have been okay if he wanted to wait more than 2 years. No. Nope. And they were going to live in, what'd they say? Yeah, somewhere like Salt Lake City, I think.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's not neutral.
But isn't that where she lives?
She lives in, I thought she lives in, I think she lives in Utah. She might live in Salt Lake, but I mean, that's where all the Mormons are.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember where she lives. But he says, the love that she has to offer is something that I need. Not something that I want. It's something that I need. It's motherly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There is a motherly thing there. Yeah.
I did notice that he drank the sparkling wine, whatever that was there, because I was obsessed. They put a glass down in front of her. She never touched anything, so she definitely doesn't drink, but she must be okay, at least for the moment, with him drinking until suddenly they're together, and then she has an issue with it. I mean, who knows?
Well, I just want you to be, that baby talk it felt like it was getting worse and worse, and it was annoying me more.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Yes, it started.
What did he say? When he said, the one moment he's like, I want to keep it light. She said, don't keep it light for me. That was like the only time I was like, okay, well, there's a little bit of that. She didn't use the baby voice for that.
Yeah.
I think that was the only time until the end. Yeah.
Boy, in the end, she sure didn't. So then let's just go to the rose ceremony.
Okay.
Neil Lane looks good, by the way. I thought he was looking pretty good for being in his 78 or something like that.
A lot of work done, but yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, but it doesn't look horrible. So Latia is walking down the hallway out of a room. She can barely walk in that dress.
Dying.
She looks amazing, but she looks like she's just like, this is the wrong dress. First of all, it's the wrong dress to walk into a rose ceremony. Boy, when you got to get out fast from that rose ceremony, oh, that is a long way back to the car, right?
I was like, okay. And so as soon as she came out and she was like, I'm like, oh man, her walk out's going to be fucking forever.
Yeah, it's going to be forever.
It was I mean, she could barely, my sister thought it was the shoes. I think it was the dress was so tight and that she could barely walk in it. And so, yeah, that was a painful walk. And
there was an audible groan from the audience when her foot stepped out of the SUV and they saw her walking up. I think everyone was like, we knew that he was making the right choice, but I did not want to see this breakup. Like, I really was almost like, I need to turn it off.
I feel like there was a lot of people who were surprised.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think there was a lot of people. I mean, I feel like she has a huge, I think, fan base or support out there. I mean, most of the people I know I'm friends with were all thrilled that he picked Juliana. But I think some people were really shocked. But that, the walk, and then when he starts to tell her and you see that tongue go, and then all of a sudden that baby talk.
Come on.
Gone.
Come on now.
Come on. And I was like,
I really was like, whoa, wait. Who is this? I will say, before he lets her down, he keeps kissing her. Cynthia, I found that this is one of the worst ceremonies I've ever, worst meaning I had squirming.
Yeah.
I did not think he should kiss her.
Yeah. Did he keep kissing her? Or was it like a...
Why don't you go back and watch it?
You have to go back and watch it. I remember him...
Oh my God, we have to go back and watch.
have to go back.
Did you go back last week and watch all of the stuff that you were supposed to watch?
No. I was like, but her response was not what I expected.
She tells him,
come on.
Come on. Well, he was like, he tells her all this great stuff, but then he goes, you're not my person. And he gets really robotic. And then she says, when did it change? And she's just livid. Like, you see that she looked at him one way. And then she kind of starts laughing. Yeah. And she goes, you're different than I thought. And she starts she seems like possessed. Yeah. And then she was like, I would have a lot of questions if I were Juliana based on what you said to me. And that sounded
threatening.
And she was
again at the after the rose
she did.
ceremony.
Yeah.
And I did not like that.
No, I did not like that either.
I did not like what she said about Juliana, about glad that's not my story, and Juliana blah blah blah, and I did not like that at all. And to me that just seemed bitter. In the beginning, but her, that was like a whole other person. You're like, okay, well, this is who you were going to be also in the relationship, right? I mean, that baby talk came to a quick end, and there was no, and she didn't have to, but I mean, she was pissed. She was mad. You're not who I thought you were. She was just like, and I understand from the tell-all that he said things to her, like, it's going to be you when he left. But at the end, when she goes, when I said, oh, I can't wait to be engaged tomorrow, at that point, what is he supposed to say? Like, we might not be. Like, what?
I think just see you tomorrow. I think it's just, but he was not careful with his words. One of the things I heard, I did hear an interview with him and Juliana on the Bachelor again. I've not listened to their final recap of this, but I did listen to an interview, and he said that on the finale he didn't want to contradict her. He was just like letting her get it out, but he said, I did not say those things that she's saying. Okay. He goes, week 2, I never would have told somebody that you're the one. It's just not something that I would have said at that time. Right. And he goes, he goes, but she has her truth. They did that whole millennial thing or whatever they are. Mm-hmm. He has her truth, or she has her truth. I have mine. My truth is not that. Whatever she heard, she thinks she heard. I don't feel I said that. So, and they don't have any of that on camera. That was all stuff that was said. Although I don't know how they don't have that on camera. When she said it week 2, when they were like, where did they have that where they weren't mic'd?
Fantasy suites, maybe, but not after. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is some shit he said, I'm sure. But there is a level where you're supposed to give 100%.
Be vulnerable.
So if that is the person. And there was a part of him up to a certain point when he started developing more for Juliana that, what was he supposed to do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I found her to be bitter and I did not like that she said that thing about Juliana and that, thank God that's not my story. And
he said she goes, well, he made the right decision.
Yeah. Well, and then she said, I would not want that to be my story. And she said, and I love Juliana, and she should again, kind of like threatening that she's going to tell Juliana things. And I do think that if the roles were reversed, I don't think Latia would have supported Grant the way Juliana is.
Juliana, absolutely.
Latia, I don't think she would have supported Grant the way that Juliana is supporting Grant. I think she's like, yes, it was part of the process. Yes, I understand what was happening. Yes, I feel like at least on that show, on the the reunion, she seemed to be supportive of him and understanding what his position was and all of that. So
Well, yeah, Jesse asks him about it, and Juliana says, I have to give him grace for being in this position, which is really hard. And so they clearly still really like each other. But when Juliana comes down, so Latia leaves, right? Juliana comes down. This is the first time I did realize that she did mention God in her speech. I don't know why I'm so hung up on this. It's because of my unresolved childhood issues around Christianity. But she's also joyful. She's fun to watch. Grant looks really happy. He's smiling ear to ear. Definitely the right pick. Then when they're back in the studio, Jesse's like, we're going to send you to Italy. And I have to say this. So Jesse goes, we want you to go to Italy, eat all the cannoli, eat all the pizza, and drink all the Brunello di Montalcino. And I was like, Jesse, Brunello di Montalcino just fell out of his mouth like it was nothing. Good for him. He might be a wine slut. Jesse.
Right?
Yes. So we like this. And then any more to say about this? Any more to say about the season?
I wish I could think of that woman's handle on Instagram. I was like, tell everyone, all of our listeners, I would tell them to watch it because she does.
I'll find it. I'll post it in here. I'll find it.
Post it in there.
You sent it to me.
Hilarious. No, I'm interested to see who the next Bachelorette, if it's going to be Latia. And for people like Latia, first of all, like when Chris walked in and I was like, oof, no fury like a woman scorned. Like,
Totally.
Like I just kept thinking that over and over, like, but I always think like, if they were to pick her, maybe she might be more mindful of her words, but at the same time, I wonder if she would then maybe have a little bit more, I should have given him a little bit more forgiveness or grace to understand the position that person's in, right?
Do you want Latia to be the Bachelorette?
No.
I don't.
No, I don't. But I can't.
They pulled Zoe up there, and I thought they were going to be like, Zoe can't be. And they bring her up, and the show is over at this point. And I am done with I'm ready for it to be over. Yeah. She just speaks in sound bites. She sits there with Jesse, and she goes, I'm ready for love. I'm ready for my person. And Jesse says, you're deserving of love. And I hate it when someone says that to anybody else because we are all deserving of love. And you don't need to tell a woman that she's deserving of love. Fuck off, right? That so irritates me.
Or a guy.
Anybody. Yeah, but just sitting up there. What do you feel about Golden Bachelor in Paradise mixed with regular Bachelor in Paradise?
Well, first of all, I'm wondering, are any of these young women, going to go for these older guys? Because that shit happens.
I'm wondering if some younger guy's gonna want to nail Leslie.
Yeah, or maybe. So I think it could be good. I don't know. I mean, why not?
Are they going to room all together? Like how? I don't even know how this is going to take place.
I'm sure there'll be groups that will develop. I'm sure that there's people that will like lean towards each other and others who don't. They did offer it to Gary and he turned it down.
Wait, they offered it to who?
Gary to go on to Bachelor in Paradise, and he turned it down.
I think he didn't have a great experience post Bachelor because all of his shit came out, about whatever nonsense he was said he hadn't dated anybody else, but he had, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I do think getting out of the spotlight is probably a good idea for him. I don't think that there's any, the shine is worn off on Gary.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that woman who was with him and saying he was cheap and all that stuff. So, and then
is that the worst thing to be called as a guy?
3 months. I mean, not a great
God.
Role. So it'll be interesting. I feel like it could be really fun. I love Susan Knowles if she ends up on there. I love her and Kathy together. I think Leslie will be a wreck. Oh my God, that could be entertainment.
She was so boring on that. I just have to say, I like Leslie a lot, and because she was the inspiration for Prince's Sexy Dancer, I like her even more. Yeah. But she was so boring. They kept being like, "What makes you special on the beach?" Well, I'm just such a beach person. She said it like 4 times. Yeah, and I thought, you need to come better prepared.
I thought have known that was the question they're going to ask her. right?
Totally. She could have done a little dance move. I mean, just like anything.
I make a mean margarita. I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So So I'm curious. I'm excited just for it to come back on. And I feel like it needs it because it changed a little bit. Not changed, but
so different now.
I know. That's why I was thinking. Oh, my mom. It's just there was less and less success, for it, and so I feel like maybe there'll be a little bit more some authentic hookups, relationships after it. So maybe that's a good thing. So, yeah. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Okay. I got nothing else. I got nothing else for this season. I'm done. I'm ready to wrap it up.
You are so done. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So The Bachelor, and that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
And who do you think? And is there anybody that you from the cast you want to be the Bachelorette?
No, I want them to get somebody outside of. No, there isn't anybody.
There's.
I mean, I would do Maria from Joey's season, but I think they offered it to her before, and she before they offered it to. Jen, who was like the worst. I'm sorry. So whatever. Yeah. Shot o'clock. But no, I don't. I would really like to see them. I don't know. Maybe Grant's sister would be good on there. I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, there's nobody on that. There's nobody in that cast that I would be, yes. And they were saying that Chloe woman, that she had.
She might be interesting. We just didn't see it. We didn't see enough of her, so I don't know.
And she could be the first kind of plus size woman.
Yeah, plus size. Oh my God.
Well, she's a plus size model.
It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous.
That dress was ridiculous, though, that she wore. It's like some of that weird cowl neck thing.
Yeah.
My stomach gurgling. My stomach. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I just heard a gurgle. I didn't know what that was. I know. I'm starving. Let's get off this call.
My stomach. All right. I love you.
I love you. Don't hang up.